Boom. Test, test, test. Hello to the people in here so far. Antoine Anonymous is live again. I missed last weekend. Sometimes I get distracted. Sometimes I have bad days. But, Hussam C, my man. You do at the gym now doing abs and arms. Perfect. You'll hear me in the background talk about recovery, even God sometimes, and, mental health. Good motivation. Good motivation to keep going. The gym is therapy in a sense. For me, it is. I feel better today after doing legs. It's funny how it works sometimes, right? Well, I hope you guys are doing well. This is the Antoine Anonymous meeting. It's a live stream about addiction and recovery. Mostly recovery, right? Talk about the solution, not the problem too much. I had a problem with drug addiction in the past and took a lot of trial and error. And then I ended up on top every day, overcoming it because it's an everyday struggle. And it doesn't really feel like a struggle anymore, but you know what I mean, right? And like every good meeting, we can start that with the Serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. All right. Hussam, alhamdulillah. All right. This is the prayer we say before every 12-step meeting. It's pretty cool because it just kind of makes you think about what are the things you can't change, and then if you can't change them and you don't accept them, you're just going to create suffering for yourself. So you got to accept them. And then the things you can change, sometimes it takes, it's not easy to change. The things you can't change, so you ask courage for it, and then if you're wise enough to know which is which. So it's a good prayer, honestly. That's where I start with that. So how it goes usually, in the chat, if you have any questions at any time, you can ask a question. But this is about like addiction and recovery, right? It's not really about like training or the gym and stuff like that. So I'm not gonna really focus on that. Great White is saying tomorrow I have to go to temp agency to find another job, but did bodyweight push-ups. Yeah, it's good. It's good, man. If you can't do everything, do something. That's one way to go. But yeah, and then after throughout the live stream, I can answer podcasts. We can communicate, amongst each other in the chat there, and I also have this just for today reading here that I'm gonna go through in a second. But first of all, wondering how you guys are doing. Yeah, Black Patron, what's up? I missed. Sometimes I just forget. Honestly. Like the day goes on, get obsessed about something else, and then it just slips my mind. I need to put a reminder on my phone. That's a good idea, actually. I should put a reminder to put a reminder on my phone. Yeah, that'd be a good thing to do. I won't do it now because I'm doing something else. And most of the time I'm doing something else anyway. But yeah. Oh, you did have a metal free. Whoa. Well, glad you're doing well. Did they make you take these pills, painkillers and stuff? Sometimes people get addicted taking these painkillers, right? I mean, not sometimes. Most of the time, I guess. It's like I went to every rehab I went. There's people who that became addicted to painkillers just because they had a surgery, and then they were an addict in their brain before, right? So they were already an addict without knowing. They just had to find the drug that would make them really lose everything, and then they fell upon that drug because of the doctors prescribed them like this painkiller, right? Dilaudid, OxyContin, and because of that, they just couldn't stop. And then when the script went out, they started feeling sick, or they misused the pills. And then they get some in the street, and then if they don't have the oxy in the street, they'll be like, oh, you can just smoke this thing instead, and then they end up like smoking fat and shit. And then going to rehab. I've seen it. This one guy was like, "Oh, I'm just using because I don't want to be dope sick anymore. I don't like to do this." It's like they imagine this guy started doing taking these pills because of the surgery, can't stop them because the thing where the script was like so long, but then it wore out, and then he felt super sick. They want to feel the withdrawal. Maybe he knew somebody that could help him out, not really helping, right? And then found some stuff on the street, and now the guy just kept doing that, and now if he doesn't use it, he's dope sick. So it's like a kind of a really shit deal. Some people go in rehab. It's not because they wanted to party. Like I was a party animal, right? But a lot of people that end up in rehab, they're just depressed or something, and they just found drugs to do something, or accidentally. I mean, we all became addicts by accidents, bad decisions after another, right? Without knowing. And that's why I like just saying I'm not responsible for. No, I'm not. Pretty much, it's like it's not my fault I'm an addict, but I'm responsible for my recovery. I butchered it, but Black Patron said I only took Depot and paracetamol for 2 days post surgery. Oh, that's good. I know what that is, but if it's a 2-day only thing, that's good. Good, sounds good. Sometimes things happen for a reason. Sometimes things don't happen for a reason. You only find out later. Always. Alhamdulillah. Yes, Husan. I agree. So very light the painkillers. I've been very careful with pain meds in the past since I've seen friends fall into addiction from it. Yeah, that's what I was just saying, right? When I broke my femur, I got told by the nurse doctors that I was taking too little. Well, that's good then. Better off like that. But I'd rather be in a bit of pain than get dependent on them. Good move. Good decision. Victor Andrade. Hello, brother. Remember you like the stream? Yes. Here we go. Oh, nice. See that? I did that. Little hearts. There's even like a support button. What is that? Oh, it's cash. Engage with your audience. Start a Q&A. Okay, I'm going to start a poll, actually. Do you know someone who passed away from addiction? Pretty dark, but start poll. All right. There's a poll right here. Yeah, so I'm going to... Oh, somebody said yes. People said yes. I didn't know you could do polls with that. It's pretty cool. I could have done a better question, but this is important because it actually like 71% yes, 29% no. Your brother, Usan, I'm sorry about your brother. Very sorry. Last year, yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like, this is why like I'm doing this, because I mean, with the cool thing with the internet, if you're looking for it, you're gonna find, like maybe addiction content, like recovery content. But if you're not looking for it, it's like I don't think your Instagram will ever feed you this. It's gonna rather feed you all this crazy news cycles going on, right? Oh, that's sad. That yeah, it's like addiction can take anybody, right? So yeah, what I was saying is that you'll never get like recovery content like fed to you without you like looking for it. This is why I think my live stream is good, because it's like you just stumble upon it. I'm a guy from like the bodybuilding world, and then I'm trying to spread a message and help people from within that world, right? Because addiction knows no boundaries, doesn't care if you're a lawyer, if you're on welfare, if you're a girl, a guy, if you're gay, straight, whatever you call your skin. Addiction is going to get you. Doesn't matter if you're rich or poor. It's going to get you. So I think in every aspect of life, you'll see addiction, and even drug addiction, right? Bodybuilding too, right? People think of bodybuilding is that everybody's healthy, this and that. They eat well. Yeah, for sure. But like, there's also addicts in bodybuilding struggling with drugs, or there's a lot of careers that stop because of drugs. Mine stopped for like 5 years, right? Getting into rehab is one thing, but even just being followed up post rehab. Yeah. The thing with rehab is that, okay, you're getting away from the world that made you use drugs to try to get a routine back and try to like live life as it is without using drugs. But the thing is, like, the life that got you addicted is the life you're going back to right away after your rehab. And sometimes you're just not ready for that. I wasn't ready for, 3 times I relapsed. Like, first rehab, I relapsed after 3 days. Second rehab, I relapsed after a month. And then the third one is I relapsed after 6 months. The fourth one, I relapsed after like 2 years, kind of. And the last one, I didn't relapse. Not today, son. Not today. There is systems after rehab. It's called the exit plan or something like that. And you write up like what you're gonna do, this and that. But for me, it's like I knew exactly what to do already. So I wrote up like 90 meetings in 90 days. I'm gonna, call my sponsor. I'm gonna just do this thing at the gym. This that. I had all these goals, right? I'm gonna journal, whatever it is. I didn't really journal for too long, but I did do 90 meetings in 90 days. The day I left the rehab in the afternoon, at night I was in a meeting right away. That's the first day, and then I didn't miss a meeting. I think Sundays we didn't have any meetings on Sundays, and where around Burlington or whatever back then. So I would do 2 on Saturday. So there was one at 1:30 something and one at like 7:30. So that's what I did. Yeah. Yeah, Cody Otaku. Yeah, man, tune in. Glad you're here. Seb Sus is saying, been watching for like 15 years, man. Fellow Ontario love. Fellow Ontario, I guess I lived through it all, man, or loved through it all. Either way, thanks for being here. But yeah, the thing is, like, people, they just go back to their lives. And then as soon as you go back to the place that made you do drugs, if you talk to the people that you were doing drugs with, and then if you're around the things that you did drugs with, well, big chances are going to relapse if you have no program. It's like you need to get out, but you need to, like, change everything pretty much, right? I mean most things. Like, for me, the big change that I had to do is that I think I had to just, like, keep my recovery, like, really high, lots of meetings, and then every day think about it, and then just talk to people in recovery and talk recovery, try to help people with that, and just control my emotions. Because I think what happened is that I stopped going to meetings, and then I was in a toxic relationship, and then that slowly, like, what chipped away at me, and then I started drinking, and then eventually I went back to, like, the super hard stuff. So this is what happened last time, but it all started when I stopped going to meetings during COVID, because I didn't want to do a Zoom meeting. That was my excuse. All right. Sipsu saying my girlfriend friend died of fentanyl overdose. He was found by his best friend. That friend has been struggling with the guilt and grief of finding him and thinking he could have saved him before. Yeah, that's very sad. But your friend, like, I know what he means. Like this, you look back like, oh, what could I have done more? But the thing is, sometimes, like, with the addiction is that you can't help somebody. Let's say if somebody's down in a hole, right? You say, come on, man, get out, and the person's not even, like, raising his hand to grab your hand. He's gonna stay in that hole. So he has to be a little bit willing, right? And for me, like, nobody was going to make me stop when I was going through it. I was like, didn't want to stop. I was like, I'll stop tomorrow. I'll stop in 2 days. I'm going to go rehab in a week. It was always a procrastination in the future until I hit a wall, hit a wall at the bottom. And then I was like, okay, yeah, fuck it. I guess I gotta stop. And then every time I went to rehab, it's because I wanted to go there, and I had to go there, and I was, like, fine with going there. I never went forced. Nobody's gonna force me. I was a grown man already, right? Sipsu is asking, any advice for folks grieving an overdose like that? There's nothing they could have done at all, right? Well, not really. Because everybody's, like, focusing on their own things, right? I mean, and the thing is, sometimes when you, like, try to help people, and you, let's say, like, I'll give a random example. Let's say, like, a friend is, like, has a roommate and they're friends, and the roommate is doing drugs all day, and then the guy's like, hey, I don't want you to do drugs in here. Like, come on, you gotta stop. And then the guy doesn't stop, doesn't care, and then you let him stay in your house. You're kind of like enabling him, right? But then if you like kick him out of the house, and then he goes on the street, and then he dies of an overdose, it's not really your fault, right? It's like the addiction is a disease. It's like it's just the addiction's fault, and ultimately, the addict is making all the decisions for himself, right? Even though sometimes if there's like it feels like there's no choice. Like let's say if I me in my active addiction, I could choose like in my head like I had the choice of like doing drugs or not. But there's no way in hell I wanted to not do drugs. I was powerless over the decision of decision making skills. It's like I wanted to do drugs, and then when I didn't want to do it, I would stop like for like at night, go to bed. The next day I would wake up. I was like, let's get more drugs. It's like I was powerless over it. So it doesn't matter how many people would tell me to stop. It doesn't matter how many people would have told me to just like go to rehab when I didn't want to go. And I just got lucky that the drugs I was doing was not like opiates that would like put me in an overdose like that. That's probably why I'm alive, because I didn't like these drugs. I liked other drugs, party drugs. But yeah, just to like make answer your question again. Like for me, per like your friend, nothing would have made me stop. Right? Nothing would have made me stop until I hit a low that I decided to get better. And then I would ask for help for people, right? But before that, I wasn't asking for help if I didn't want to stop. And even though I would want to stop sometimes, I would change my mind the next day, right? Sipsu is saying, do you believe once an addict, always an addict? Always at the mercy of an anticipatory dopamine rush? Or do you think someone can completely disassociate from those cravings? Well, I think, for example, my brain, I know my brain is still the brain of an addict. And because I know that, I'm staying away from drugs. You understand? If I thought like, oh, maybe I tried that before, that's why I'm saying this, was 4 years clean. Maybe I can just drink now. I've been like over 2 years. Been 2 years I didn't do drugs. If I do it with like, with just the right people, with just the girlfriend I had back then, maybe I'll be fine. And then I was fine a little bit, but something felt wrong already. And it just progressed. And then went back to where I was. And the thing is, my brain right now is the same crazy addict brain I had when I was 20 years old. The only difference now is I got a recovery. So for me, I believe if you're a real addict, you're always going to be an addict. You're not going to be an addict in the sense that you're in active addiction. It doesn't mean you're going to relapse. But my brain is built like that. It's because I know myself and I'm honest with myself that I know I have the brain of an addict. That I'm not going to go and put myself in situations where I'll be tempted to do drugs, or there'll be drugs around, or I'm going to go do drugs. Because I know I won't be able to stop. It's going to ruin everything. So I think for me, the once an addict, always an addict is 100% true for me. I think this is good. This is how I want it. Do you think I want to be like a half addict? Where I could have done drugs like forever and then just like kind of managed through it and my life just be like at this lower level, but like I can, work 9 to 5, party on the weekend, do blow with the buddies and drink something. Fuck that. And then you fucking hang out. But then you go back and you're normal. So people can live like that forever and it's not ruining their lives. No, I'd rather I crash myself into oblivion and now I can't do it anymore. And now it's simple. I don't have to try to control it. I'm an addict. I can't do drugs. Not today, and then tomorrow, not today too. So for me, I like it like that, right? But, there's some people that I've heard about that, oh yeah, I used to like do whatever. I was an addict when I was in my teens. And then they just stopped somehow. And then they just drank sometimes. And they were fine. But I think they were not real addicts in the first place. They were just a kid going through something. And then they just like became normal again. They just acted like that. Maybe like they were in a bad relationship, and then the girl was staying with the guy, and the guy was making her do drugs, and then when she left the guy, she never did the drugs again, even though she did it every day. But like I said, I don't think these type of people are real addicts. Sepsu is saying, got it. So acceptance and perseverance is the main key to staying sober. Knowing you'll never beat it. You have to just take responsibility and stay away from it. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. I'll never I'll never control drugs if I do them. I believe that. And the thing is, even though, like, for example, I would be able to drink once a day, all right? No, once a week for the rest of my life and be fine. The other 6 days of the week, I would think about that day and how much alcohol can I drink to still be acceptable. I would start obsessing over that day. You understand? Even though the alcohol wouldn't ruin my life, it would ruin my thoughts. I would be obsessed all the time if I could do it. So that's why, like, I know that I just can't do it. And then you're asking, Sepsu, do you believe in 12-step, Al-Anon, A, NA? Yeah, that's why I do 12 steps. And I think for the 12-step program to work, you have to kind of like be open-minded. You have to be super honest. You have to be willing for it to work. It's not going to work if you don't want to do it. It's not going to work if you're not open-minded. And it's not going to work if you're not honest. So I think the 12-step program can work for everybody who will do that. But there's some people, I was just listening to a podcast with Charlie Sheen. He's 7 years clean now, and he doesn't do the AA. He did try in the past, but he said there's like stuff from it that helped him. There's like little snippets that it helps him out. But for him, it's like it just doesn't do that, which is pretty surprising, right? But I think some people can do that. But maybe if you fully, I don't know, I'm not talking about him, but like me, when I went to my first rehab, they said, oh, you got to do NA. I'm like, all right, whatever. With all the drugs I did, you think I care about doing something weird like that? No. Like, I didn't care about the higher power. And I said, I don't have a higher power. He said, oh, just make one up, or just think about one and just start doing the program with it. And then I just did. And then at first, like, my higher power was like Thor, the god of thunder. I was like, oh, I don't know, just Thor. He's cool. He has a hammer. He's buff. Thor. And then I was like, oh, it's not Thor. And then now I can't even tell you what it is. I can't explain what the higher power is, but it's like this massive force behind everything, pushing everything forward that is through time and space. But it doesn't matter what I believe, right? It's like what you believe. So you said here, can you do the 12 steps successfully without believing in God? My understanding is that there is a large faith-based component. No, yeah, you can do it. The thing is, it says in the program, the God of your understanding. And that's whatever your God is. And the thing is, if you're like an atheist, it has to be a power greater than yourself. All right, Sepsu? So a power greater than yourself. Yourself is one person. The group, that's always there. Not the specific group, but the group, the other people in general, is a power greater than yourself too. So GOD could be group of druggies, group of drunks, or GOD if you're atheist but you believe in like what's good orderly direction. It's like it's the good path. That could be higher power. So it doesn't need to be like an entity or a spiritual thing or an energies of the universe or God or whatever it is. It can be something like that. The good orderly direction. Or the group, it could be whatever. So yes, it is possible to do it successfully without believing in the typical religious God, right? Because I don't believe in a specific religion fully, but I believe all the religion are talking about the same thing in different messages. It's like, all right, well, if you go to McDonald's, you get a hamburger. It's a hamburger. If you go to Burger King, you get a hamburger. It's a hamburger. You go to Wendy's, it's a hamburger. It's a hamburger. 3 different restaurants, same burger. You know what I mean? So God is the burger, and the restaurants are the different religions. That's what I believe. But maybe I'm hungry and I need a burger. Maybe 5 Guys would be good, yeah. Usam is saying once you get clean, it's a constant battle every day to stay clean, and alcohol is the first step in relapsing. You're right. I think alcohol is the real gateway drug, honestly. Because when you do alcohol, you don't care about anything. People who smoke weed sometimes they get paranoid and care too much. It's like I don't think weed is the real gateway drug. I think alcohol is the real gateway drug. No Hurt Big Shirt says the pump has been my high for the last 25 years. It is good. The pump is the best, one of the best feelings. Matthew Chouinard says my higher power is the group. There you go. We have one right here. My higher power is the group. I'm an atheist. I'm almost 4 months sober. I go to 3 meetings a week, have a sponsor, and I'm working on step 4. I was in addiction for 16 years. It works. Dude, Matthew Chouinard, I'm happy to hear that. So, Sebsu, yeah, we have a proof right there. This guy's not even agnostic. He's actually an atheist. He's got 4 months sober. And I was saying earlier that GOD could be group of drunks, group of druggies. So the group could be at a higher power 100%. And congratulations on 4 months. It's, day by day. It's, I'm glad you started your recovery, and then you're doing good like that. It does work if you actually work it, right? Mathieu Chouinard says also, I use good orderly directly, living, doing the next right thing. It's connected to my idea of spirituality. Yeah, that's good, man. He also says all religions are talking about the same thing. I had a priest tell me that. Again, I'm completely atheist. Yeah, that's good, man. I'm happy you're here with that. Alcohol's always been the real gateway drug. Yeah, Black Patron, I was just saying that. Sibsu says, Antoine, do you think bodybuilding, protein powders, vitamins can be a halfway addiction? And that it can be arguably be healthier than hard drugs? Well, obviously whey protein is going to be healthier than crystal meth and stuff, right? But the thing is, with addiction, how it works, like real addiction, it's like you get an instant reward, right? So you take something, you feel a certain way, you don't like how you feel, or you don't like how things are, and then you take something that's outside of you, and then right away you get an effect. That's a good effect, right? Like a positive reward system that's instant. This was going to make you addicted. Bodybuilding is like, I'm going to go in the gym, and I'm going to suffer in the gym and be exhausted and sweat, and then maybe I'll get results later. Or I'm going to eat this food that I don't want to eat. I'd rather eat burgers again. But I'm going to eat this chicken and rice for weeks on end to maybe have the results in the future. Maybe. So bodybuilding is a journey of delayed gratification. It's the opposite of addiction in a sense. You can be addicted to how you look though. But that's like an image thing, right? Oh, I'm too small and this and that. Or if you get value of how you look, and then this is you're holding on to the look. Well, bodybuilding is for me, it's all about the training and all that stuff, right? The look will come with, the look is like a result, but the thing is some people do get problems with how they see themselves in the image. And I think in bodybuilding it does happen. But I don't think they're addicted to bodybuilding. They're addicted to the superficial how they look. Girls will get a bunch of surgeries. It's the same thing with the bodybuilders who are kind of addicted to how they look, or the girls who are under anorexia. They think they're too skinny, and then they're always if they're self-centered on how they look, that's kind of an addiction in itself. But the enhanced side of it, I think it's if you would take testosterone, but testosterone would not change how you look, people will not get addicted to testosterone, right? So it's it's not about the enhanced stuff. It's about what the enhanced stuff makes you look like. Some people will get addicted to that, to how you look. But I'm just speaking, I don't know. Yeah, like I said, it's just because if you inject testosterone, you don't feel an effect. So it's not a narcotic. You know what I mean? But the thing is, you can get addicted to narcotics easily, but you could also get addicted to pretty much everything. Some people get addicted to chewing styrofoam or something. So yeah, I think you could get addicted to like bodybuilding because of the way you look, right? You don't want to give that up. Some people, when they get retired, they don't know what to do. They try to, whatever, right? Shout out to Daniel. But I know what you mean. But for me, bodybuilding is like, as soon as I would stop partying and I would wake up in rehab, I would start training right away. It did help me to obsess over something else. Because the thing is, my brain will always be an obsessive brain. So I need something for my brain to just like latch on and lock in. I need that. So if it's something positive, it's way better. It's actually going to be productive. Look, I would like, I like bodybuilding. I focus on that, and then I made a whole career out of it. Right? That I almost destroyed with addiction. Yeah, well, it's good stuff, right? And it's pretty. Look at this. The 20 votes so far. 70% knew somebody who passed away from addiction. 30% no. Sib Sue is asking, do you think anabolics and whatnot can change your brain chemistry? Not similar. Like if it does, it's not gonna change like a hard drugs, because hard drugs changes it right away. Like if you take a hit of something like with smoke, you're gonna feel right away your brain, like the dopamine, this whatever, will be shot at like hundreds of percents more right away. I think with bodybuilding or like the anabolics, if it's something will change, it might be long term, but I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I do think it's mostly the visual addiction of being big and strong, and maybe also like addicted to like the attention they get from people, right? Some people, they always want to have the attention, and I think I used to be like that when I was younger, and then now it's like I don't care as much anymore, right? Because I guess, wife and kid, and just, but I don't really care as much anymore. I should care more. I should care more about it, probably, to get more. Yeah, maybe Universal Days. Yeah, but the thing is, look, Sepsu. If I'm being filmed to make an entertaining video, I have to kind of like let that side out. Like even today, today, if I would have to film a video with friends, I'm gonna be like doing stupid stuff because, first of all, it's funny, and then also makes a better video, right? But when I'm home, I don't think like, oh, I need to get attention right now. But if you put a camera in front of my face, I guess, this is the time to be stupid, and I can just act out. Oh, you're out of here, Black Patron. Damien Sims says, amen, former addict turned bodybuilder as well. Been watching for many years. Trying to express my respect for what you're doing. Respect, brother. Damien Sim. Seb Sue says, dude, those Universal road trips were my favorite thing to watch back in the day. Great point. You always nailed the energy on cam. Oh, Daniel. Daniel's going away. Good night, Daniel. Where is he? Going to bed. Yeah. Good night. It's late over there. Pretty late in London. It's like 6 a.m. or something. Usam grinding over there 6 days a week. Yeah, I'm gonna start reading this thing here, and then I'm gonna shut it down. But it's good turnout tonight. I don't know if I should do it during the week instead of the weekend. I don't know. Maybe I just got lucky. See that? So the gist for today reading, September 16 today, emotional balance. We're going to talk about that. Emotional balance is one of the first results of meditation, and our experience bears this out. Oh boy. I think the best guy that meditates here is probably Hussam. Hussam, you meditate a lot. You do pray a lot, which is like a form of meditation. Like praying is like talking to your higher power, and then meditation is in silence. You're actually listening to your higher power. So people say that. Maybe Hussam, you can tell us what your experience is with that. Christopher says, I've been following your journey since your Canadian Nationals, through the pro ranks. You doing this live stream and discussing the true reality of addiction. Much respect, brother. Respect to you too, man. It's a great opportunity for me, and to be able to do that and help some people and just spread some positivity. Before I go into this reading, I'll say something quick. With all the shit that's going on in the social media and the news and stuff, I don't know if you guys are like me, but my stream is filled with like a bunch of stuff, like people, getting killed and stuff. It's it's annoying, right? And then you see these things, people like they rage bait, this and that, back and forth, left, right, this, that, murder this and this, oh, this is shocking, this person race, this, that. Okay, there's a lot of negativity, right? Joe Rogan said it well earlier. We're not supposed to see the problems of 8 billion people online every day. Yes, Epsu is just too much. All right, so why I'm saying this is that this right now, this live stream, is something that I can put positive in the world, right? I'd like my content to only be positive. Either it's going to motivate people or inspire people or maybe just inform people with some good stuff. And especially about addiction here, it's like it kills people. Like, see that? 71% somebody passed away. So I think it's good to talk about that stuff, put myself out there, talk about my experience, and just to show people like, hey, it's possible to get out of there. And then even if you never got there, it's just like, like, oh, there's something good out there. This guy overcame addiction and he's doing like this right now, so it's good. Weapon X, what's up? Weapon X. Yeah, social media addiction too. Yeah, you get like small dopamine from like the TikTok stuff, right? Yeah, I don't want to get into this, that. It's good to have a space with all. Yeah, so that I don't want to talk about that. It's something positive, right? So we'll talk about emotional balance. How's that? It talks about the meditation, and our experience bears this out. I actually meditated today for the first time. I was trying to take a nap, and then my wife brought my headphones because the baby was like kind of whining a little bit. He's teething. And then I put my sound blocker, and then silence. There was like no sound. No sound. And I explain how it felt. I just remember that. It's almost like so my eyes were closed, but because there was no sound, I feel like instead of just being in the room or being in my body, I felt when I closed my eyes, I was in a giant room. Giant room. Filled with space. And it seems like there was like something in that space, but it was a giant like space, like a huge, imagine a room big like a stadium. It was infinite, but you kind of felt it was kind of still close to you. And my eyes were closed. I was like, holy shit, I could meditate right now. There's like no sensory coming in. Because my eyes were closed and there was a noise cancellation that works really well with the Apple headphones. So I was meditating and breathing, and I was just like not doing anything crazy. I was just like, oh wow, I'm in a just giant room. Pretty sick. So I'll just sit in this giant room and just be cool being here. I'm accepting where I am right now in this giant room. And then that was it. That was just my meditation. I was breathing through that. And then I fell asleep eventually, but that was a lot. What was my meditation? This is what that was my meditation today. Oh wow, let's forget that sentence. Usam says he prays 5 times a day, grounded, humble. Yes, sir. Whipping X been back to the gym after the loss of her daughter. Very sorry about that. Doing so much better now. Next month will be 12 months clean for me. Good job, Whipping X. 12 months clean, 1 year. I have some tinnitus, so there's no sound. Yeah, I mean, I do hear my ears ringing. If that's what you're saying, my ears ring too. But after like you're just like your brain kind of like fades it out, right? Yeah, Tool is a great band, actually. All right, so I'm going to keep reading this. Basic text, page 47. Though each of us defines emotional balance a little differently, all of us must find it. Emotional balance can mean finding and maintaining a positive outlook on life. Holy shit, we're just talking about that, guys. Regardless of what may be happening around us. See, the thing with just for today, this reading, is that sometimes you read that, it's like it's so bang on what we're talking about, because it said emotional balance, but then look at this sentence here. Emotional balance can mean finding and maintaining a positive outlook on life, regardless of what may be happening around us. I'll read it again, Weapon X, no problem. Emotional balance can mean finding and maintaining a positive outlook on life regardless of what may be happening around us. This is where we're talking about earlier. Too much negative stuff. But maintaining a positive outlook on life, that's part of having an emotional balance. To some, it might mean an understanding of our emotions that allows us to respond, not react to our feelings. Respond, not react to our feelings. So responding is that something happens, and then you think, and then you have the time to respond. Reacting is that something happens, and then boom, right away it's like a reflex, a reaction. It's like an animal if a cat jumps, it falls down, it will react right away, put his legs underneath him, right? So there's a lot of reactions that are good, instincts and stuff, but for us, if we react to our emotions, if we react to the outside world, my reactions are never good. So especially if I react to my own feelings, I feel angry, then right away I don't think I will do something. I'm gonna say something mean. I might hit the if you stub your toe, then you hit the counter with your fist. It's stuff like that. I try not to do that. It can mean that we experience our feelings as intensely as we can while also moderating their excessive expression. Some laughing, chuckling kinds of when I was a kid in the background. I heard some laughing, chuckling kinds from kids in the background when I was inside my Jeep today. When you're meditating or? Anyway. Yeah, it is awesome. Jake Payton, what's up? Brothers and sisters. All right, so let's keep reading here. Emotional balance comes with practice in prayer and meditation. Oh. Usam probably got some sick emotional balance. But for me, I find that the practice part, right? And the thing is, let's say if something bad happens to you, or you feel an emotion, if you can just sit for 2 seconds, take a deep breath, and then think about what you're going to say. This is like a meditation. It's like a super short meditation that you just create for yourself. One big breath is one small meditation. And then it gives you the space to have the response that's right. You go from reacting right away to creating a little space and time. Breathe. And then you just pause. Pause. Feel your body. Feel the emotion. Emotion is there's stuff moving in your body. Motion. Emote. Remote control is outside is far. Remote is far. Emote is close. Motion. Movement. Close. Movement inside. Emotion. So you feel the emotion motioning into your body. You take a pause. Let it cool down a little bit. And then, okay, what's the right thing to do here? And then you can actually do the right thing. Respond properly. And that is this is how you just deal with emotions. Right? You don't act out of your emotions. You kind of stop and then think. Breathe. Do a little gap between the action, your emotion and your action. Should have a gap in between, because if there's no gap, it's not action, it's a reaction. So I like that. We get quiet and share our thoughts and hopes and concerns with the God of our understanding. So you take the pause I was talking about, and you try to listen for an answer. Some people will ask the answer of the God of their understanding. But if you're an atheist, you can just think about what is the right thing to do. We all have the answers usually in our hearts. Then we listen for guidance, the message from your higher power, awaiting the power to act on that direction. So you'll feel a pull. Let's say if you ask yourself, oh, what's the right thing to do? For people who believe, what does Allah want me to do? Usam would say. Or maybe a Christian would say, what would Jesus do? That's a famous one, right? An atheist would say, what is the best thing, the most righteous thing that I could do regarding that? And some people would say you know, if they're a DC fan, what would Superman do? The good Superman, not the evil Superman. Yeah, so that's one way to do it. Have a good rest, Black Patron. You gotta go. Yeah, dream state. Let's go. Dream state. Funny you're in your other dimension, buddy. Open next saying sometimes I hard to convey my message as I'm in their shoes. Try to see it from their viewpoint. That's good, yeah. And take my situation and try to make it resonate from their viewpoint. Yeah, no, it does make sense. Because we're all like different people with complicated lives that went through a lot of different things, right? So it's good to sometimes like put ourselves out of our shoes and put ourselves in the other people's shoes. And compassion, is that what it is? Compassion. I mean, that's what compassion is. But in a sense, it's like if you only just think about your shoes, that's being self-centered. That's like an active addict, right? And sometimes even if you don't do drugs, you can still be self-centered without knowing on something. So it's good to just like do a little personal check-in like that, and then you can do a little scan of your body and your actions and everything, and then act accordingly. All right. Eventually, our skills in maintaining inner balance get better, and the wild ups and down emotional swings we used to experience begin to settle. So less up and downs over time with practice. We develop an ability to let others feel their feelings. I like that, right? We develop an ability to let other people feel their feelings. So you give them their space. So if somebody reacts and they're angry, you give them their space. You don't judge them. You don't need to judge them. Let them live their emotion. Let them like do their thing and then process it, because everybody processes them at different speeds, different times. Sometimes people will react and come back later and say they're sorry, right? And then we fully embrace our own personal range of emotions. So I like that too. This is something I didn't understand before. I thought they were good and bad emotions, right? Oh, sadness. I don't like that. Have you seen what's the movie? What's the movie, Taylor? Taylor? What's the movie with like the emotions and they're like little cartoons? Inside Out. If you haven't seen Inside Out, it's a good movie explaining that. So pretty much, like for example, for me, like in the past, I didn't like to feel sadness. So I would turn sadness into anger, or I would just bottle it down like a real man, I thought, right? And then I judged certain emotions. I didn't want to feel the sadness, right? Kind of hurt too much in a sense. That's probably what I was judging it. Usam is saying best regards to Taylor. Yeah, my wife. She's the best. So I like that here. And we fully embrace our own personal range of emotions. And it's personal, right? Some people feel more sad than others. Doesn't mean that you need to feel as sad as them to be healthy. When they're sad, and maybe it's more expressive. And maybe when you're sad, you're just more quiet, right? But it's like this is how you live your emotion. So it's a personal range of emotions. We need to accept everything that we feel for a reason. We have to express it, And over time, we work through that. I think as when we're growing up, when I was growing up, I guess it was I don't know, I wasn't good with emotions. I wasn't good. Sadness, I was sometimes I remember I would use my whole strength, the whole strength of my whole brain and body and stuff, just not to cry, and then I couldn't talk. So my parents were like, my mom was like, what's wrong? And I couldn't talk. I wouldn't say a word, because if I said one word, it would just burst out of me. So I didn't want to do that. Didn't want to cry. So I held everything inside for like a long time. So we don't have to do that. We have to fully embrace our own personal range of emotions. And honestly, I'm barely sad anymore, right? Thank God, everything's going well. But if I do feel sadness or something, I know if I call my mom or my wife, there's like people I can be sad around, and I have to accept it and stuff. Or I can be just sad by myself and just whatever. But it doesn't happen. So I don't have to deal with it. It's easier for me if I don't have to deal with that. But yeah. Yeah, you like that too? Yeah. Not just for guys, I guess. Girls too sometimes have a hard time, feeling that sadness. for some reason, right? The why was sadness, the anger. Anger feels, it almost feels good to be angry. It's like, oh, I'm doing something, and it just you kind of get it out with like somehow, right? And sometimes it's just, but first I would like switch. What happens is that as I got older, is I instead of like bottling up sadness, I would like change it to anger. But if you haven't seen Inside Out, about like it's like a movie for kids, it's pretty good. It talks about like emotions and stuff, and it's not stupid. You know, I watched it in rehab. It's good. Yeah, Jake. Same here too. All right, let's just for today, through a regular prayer and meditation, I will discover what emotional balance means to me. And I like when it says means to me. Emotional balance for me is not going to be the same as you. It's not going to be the same as Hussam. Not going to be the same as Jake's, Weapon X, Black Patron, and went to bed. You know, it's all personal. So the thing is, like, we have to accept how we feel the emotion. Yeah, we could be inspired by people like, oh, like, but we can't judge other people because it's really like we can't judge them. Because, for example, sometimes like girls, let's say if you're dating a girl and she cries more than you because I don't know, this is how she is. Well, you can't be like, what the fuck are you crying about? You're just like, and then just judge them because they're crying more, or say you cry all the time. This is how they are. You know, if they're crying, it's because they need to cry, and they're probably more emotionally balanced than you if you never cry, right? Or maybe not. Maybe you just don't cry that much. You know, I don't remember the last time I cried. Huh? Was it like I think there was like something in a movie and I was like, then I kind of like wet eye and that was it. Maybe I should cry more. But yeah, that's it. This is good. This is there was a good just for today. I like the part where it says right here. Where is it? Emotional balance can mean finding and maintaining a positive outlook on life, regardless of what may be happening around us. With all the negativity around us, and sometimes it's like it's honestly, it's not even around us really. It's in this, right? If you open your phone, social media, chances are you'll have something negative coming at you, right? And then you react to it, and I think Instagram knows if you stay longer on a reel compared to other ones. This is gonna be like, oh look, he's spending more time on Instagram if I send him all this bullshit. Because we react to negative things because that's how we survived in the past, so they just feed us that stuff. But listen, life is good. You know? And if it's hard, we can be grateful for the things that are doing well. To maintain a positive outlook on this life, regardless of what's happening in your phone, on social media, or around you. I think that was a good one. I'm happy that you guys are here. Thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions before I hang this up, now is the time. All right. Whooper Next says, I dated a guy that never cried. I thought maybe he was just insensitive, but it was quite the opposite. When we get through the hard stuff, we become stronger. I think that's how it is for me. Yeah, maybe sometimes guys are just different. I mean, there's some people, I don't know if you noticed, but like, there's some people that don't laugh as much, right? They just don't laugh as much. They're just not as expressive. Like, I think I'm very expressive. I laugh a lot and stuff, and I guess that's just how I am. But some people, like, you'll say like funny stuff, and they're like, it's like they probably like laughing a little bit inside their head. They think it's funny, but they're not gonna be like bah, ha, 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 ha. They'll just like they won't express as much. So it's fine. It was a good reading, Jake Payton. It was like it was good. That was good. Good reading. I feel like we always need those ones. But yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. It's good that we are all alive, even though sometimes it can be hard. We know, if we do the right thing today, we're going to have the best outcome for ourselves tomorrow. That's what faith is, I guess. If you do the best thing for yourself, and the people around you, the best decision you can make, the most righteous one, you're going to get the best outcome after. Because if you don't do the best thing, you're not going to get the best outcome. I guess it's simple math. It's just logic at this point. I wish you all the best in this life and the next. Thanks, Usam. God bless. Alhamdulillah. Yeah, happy to be here. Happy to see you guys. Let's bring love to the world. I agree, Jake. Yes, sir. I'm glad I made it to 2. It was good. And I'll see you guys this weekend. All right? Saturday. Hopefully. All right. See ya. Good night.